Hello, hello, everybody. How are you guys? I hope you guys are good. All right. So, those of you that are brand new to the channel, welcome. Thank you guys so much for being here. Those of you that are returning viewers, thank you guys so much for coming back. We appreciate all of you. All right. So, let's talk about a few things here. We're going to talk a little bit about the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. We're going to talk a little bit about TBI, and we are going to talk about a brother in arms connection between the sheriff in Sumner County and Mr. Chris himself. All right, so let's get right into it. Before we get started, do me a favor and please hit that like button. And if you have not already done so, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. All right, let's get in it. All right, so first let's look at Sumner County and a little bit of their track record that they have. So this is Gallatin News. Lawsuit alleges, this is September 1st, 2023. Lawsuit alleges deputy assaulted a mental patient, violated civil rights. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to give you the gist. On July 15th, 2022, Sumner County Sheriff's Deputy Gunnar Van Gilder was dispatched to the Castellian Springs residence of Jonathan Sellers, a diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic, who began seeing people who were not there. Zach Sellers and Deputy Van Gilder talked with Jonathan for around 30 minutes, but the defendant did not want to be taken to the hospital for a mental evaluation. He continued, saying that once backup arrived, Van Gilder pulled Jonathan from a chair onto the floor to be handcuffed, with 2 deputies on him and 2 EMS personnel at his side. He started punching him in the face 5 or 6 times after he was already on the ground. Where his head was on the carpet, there was a puddle of blood. Jonathan was transported to the Sumner Regional Medical Center, where the family was told that he had a broken nose and several facial fractures. Okay. Sumner deputy fired for ethics violation. A Sumner County Sheriff's deputy has been fired for using his power to interfere with Nashville businessman's job to serve legal papers to the deputy's wife. Deputy Kenneth Samuels was terminated after an internal investigation determined he violated 10 ethics policies. Samuels lied to 4 colleagues, and his businessman filed a false report, interfered with a legal service, refused to give his name, and knowingly had a conflict of interest at work, according to the investigation by Sergeant Keith Bean, who works in the SCSO's Internal Affairs Division. Sumner County Sheriff's Major pleads no contest to misconduct charges. Former Sumner County Sheriff's Office Major Don Lindsay pleaded no contest to charges of official misconduct on Monday in Davidson County Criminal Court. As part of the plea agreement, Lindsay received a sentence of 2 years of probation. The other 6 charges against him were dismissed. He was caught taking narcotics, from the sheriff's department's evidence room without authorization over a 3-month period. Yep. Sumner County Sheriff indicted in family scheme. Sumner County Sheriff J.D. Vandercook and his brother Jerry were arrested by federal agents after fraud indictments were handed down by a grand jury. Sheriff Vandercook allegedly funneled more than $73,000 to his brother to build a maintenance garage in Gallatin last spring. The indictments result from a plot to conceal the fact that the sheriff had hired his brother. FBI Special Agent Mai Harrison says state and federal law enforcement is taking special measures to curtail civil service corruption. So Sumner County does not have the greatest track record when it comes to being lawful and enforcing the law. Let's just put it that way. All right, now let's look a little bit at TBI. Legacy or nepotism, whistleblower questions TBI hiring practices. When it comes to the big cases like the kidnapping and murder of Holly Bobo, shootings involving local police, or cases involving public corruption, responsibility often falls to special agents of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigations. For TBI agents, the badge is a badge of honor. Nepotism is in the policy, and it's not allowed. Smith, who worked in the TBI Human Resources Department for 2 years, told News Channel 5 Investigates that she watched children of TBI bigwigs get hired as special agents over military veterans with far greater law enforcement experience. That occurred despite a state law that says veterans will be given preferences in hiring. Now, why is this important? Because people that are bigwigs or higher ups in TBI, instead of hiring qualified people, qualified agents, qualified people for the job, it's all about nepotism, and they're giving it to their kids and grandkids when they have no qualification for the job that they are given. Now, we'll go over why this is all important in just a second. Now, we have Sumner County, who is the lead county officers in the Sebastian Rogers case. Then you have TBI, who is the next group of agents investigating the Sebastian Rogers case. Now you have nepotism in TBI, where literally a woman who works there is telling you these people aren't qualified for the job. And then you have all of the corruption that has happened in Sumner County, and it's like, okay, can you really trust the two main agencies that are investigating this young boy's disappearance? I don't know. I don't know if you can with backgrounds like this. And that's the issue. That's the problem right there. Now, I want to bring this up right here. Has any neighbor ever said that they have Katie on video the morning Sebastian disappeared? She says she looked all over outside and then she drove all around the neighborhood. So this should be on camera. Or did she just pull out of the driveway and right out of the neighborhood to get to the school for the script? Now, that's a good question. Did any neighbors catch her on camera running all around her property? And was she seen driving around the neighborhood the morning of, where she claimed she was out looking for Sebastian? Now, this should be 100% on camera somewhere, and I'm going to tell you why. Now, let's take a look at this. Sumner County residents can help authorities fight crime through personal surveillance cameras. Now, let's listen to this real quick.
Crime by connecting to personal surveillance cameras. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 6. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Vilgus. Sumner County citizens can help law enforcement agencies track down criminals. The program is called FUSIS.
Henderson police are leading Gallatin, Goodlettsville, Millersville, Portland, Westmoreland, and the Sumner County Sheriff's Office in this rollout, which was funded through a state grant.
And while the technology is new to them, Metro Police have been using it for more than a year. News 2's Tori Gessner explains how it works.
Crime caught on camera is often the key to cracking a case.
We've learned over the years that video evidence has been one of the most beneficial to resolving our criminal cases, particularly crimes of violence.
Now, in Sumner County, 7 law enforcement agencies can watch that video evidence in real time through a network of citizens and businesses' surveillance cameras. With the owner's permission and a core device connection tool, officers can gain access to private cameras live as a crime is happening, even across different jurisdictions.
Say in the city of Gallatin, we're able to see that active situation as it's going on in Gallatin, and we're able to get suspect information, so we're not waiting on someone to put that out later in an AM message or over the radio. We know what we're looking for instantly, so we'll be more effective in capturing.
Hendersonville Police is spearheading the program, calling it Connect Sumner. The agencies already have access to more than 60 cameras countywide. As these 7 departments roll out Fusus for the first time, Metro Police are looking to extend their contract another year. But after the Community Review Board raised countless questions and concerns over privacy, Council will wait until February to decide whether to give the department the $250,000. In Sumner County, the technology has been widely accepted so far. The 7 agencies excited about just how valuable Fusus can be.
We take crime seriously in Sumner County, and we want people to see that it's a united front. We work together, we communicate, and we're going to be as effective as we can to keep the citizens of Sumner County safe.
In Hendersonville, Tori Gessner, News 2.
Okay, now, why is this important? Because all over Hendersonville was one of those towns that heavily accepted this. Now, this started, it rolled out in August of 2023, right? Let me just make sure I got that correct. Yes, so this was rolled out in August of 2023. This article was written January 25th of 2024. So before Sebastian went missing. And they have all local businesses in Hendersonville have connected their cameras through this system, through this Fusus system. And I want to read this part to you here. Okay, let me. Video evidence has been one of the most beneficial tools in solving criminal cases over the years, and Fusus helps officers build a network of cameras they wouldn't have had otherwise. Citizens can also elect to put their cameras on a registry through Fusus, which does not give officers access to their video, but instead lets law enforcement know that they can contact the camera owner in case a crime happens in the area. Ryan told News 2 the feature helps save time during criminal investigations where video evidence may have been recorded. Instead of going door to door just for video evidence, officers can ask for it with a push of a button. The ability to cover a large area with this program, knowing where those cameras are, and our ability to one touch send a message out requesting them to check cameras and upload video if you have something that's relevant to the crime, we can do the work of 20 people with one email. Okay. There's also a real-time crime center, which agencies hope to eventually put in every police vehicle in Sumner County. Now, this is all in question because that little market down by Beach High School where Chris's mother supposedly was that morning, where she was spotted, multiple people walked up and reported that she was there that morning. And conveniently, their cameras weren't working at the time. So I find that super interesting, or at least that's what the sheriff's office says. Right? Pretty convenient, don't you think? All right, now moving on. All of those cameras, and Sebastian was never spotted on one. All those cameras that are connected and the sheriff's office has access to, and Sebastian was never spotted on one. Like, just what are the statistics on that? What is the chance that he wouldn't be spotted on one camera within all of these towns and cities that are connected to this Fusus Sumner County camera system? Super strange. All right. Now, we all know about the camaraderie and the brotherhood between people who have served in the Army, Marines, Navy, Air Force, brothers in arms, right? So let's look at this real quick. Sumner County Commission names Craddock interim sheriff. August 28th, 2024. Let's go down here. All right, let's look at this here. After graduating from Hendersonville High School in 2006, Craddock enlisted in the U.S. Navy Reserves, where he still serves as a senior chief petty officer. Okay. After graduating high school in 2006, he enlisted in the U.S. Navy. All right. Now, let's look at this. Now, this is the heavy equipment school, that Heavy Equipment College of America, where Chris Proudfoot got his degree in. Okay. Before graduating from HEC, Chris was in the military, where he developed skills and experience using heavy equipment. He worked with an RG crane to safely move weapon systems. Right here. As he was leaving the Navy in 2019, Chris began thinking about what kind of civilian career he wanted. So he left the Navy in 2019. I think on another thing it said he served for it was a while. He was in there a while. I can't remember exactly the amount of time, but I want to say it was close to somewhere around 20 years. Okay, that he was in there. Maybe a little bit less than that. But anyway, he left the Navy in 2019. Craddock entered the Navy in 2006 after graduating from high school. There, and then now let me show you this. The United States military has a unique ability to define brotherhood, not in words, but in actions. Every day, those men and women are challenged and are sometimes put into situations where the camaraderie builds itself and the men and women are able to build each other. The uniform only lays the foundation for what brings these select and exceptional men and women together. It is the call of duty, the ideals, and the shared title of being an American and believing in what that means, that truly binds the service men and women together across all 5 branches. Now, in a perfect world, none of this would matter. But in a world where personal connections, people you know, nepotism, in a world where all of this happens every single day and people cover for other people, people cover for their brothers, people will sometimes people will stop at nothing to protect another fellow brother in arms, if you get my drift. Now, again, everything that obviously not what I'm reading, but everything that I am stating is my opinion and my opinion only. Everything is alleged. It is what it is. Now, I'm sure everybody remembers when this picture came out and it was taken at the Blue Ridge Mountain Welcome Center in North Carolina. And this lady was running to meet with her family, and she just took this picture because she thought that this could be Sebastian Rogers. Now, when Seth saw this picture, Seth was like, 100%, that's my son. That's my son. I know it is. Well, and authorities from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office had this to say about this picture. I now have official confirmation the photograph taken of a teen at a visitor center in North Carolina last Saturday is not of Sebastian Rogers. The boy in the photograph very much resembled Sebastian, but it was not him. Here is a statement just sent to me by Sumner County Chief Deputy Eric Craddock. We would like to provide an important update regarding the recent photograph circulated in connection with the search for Sebastian Rogers. After coordinated efforts with law enforcement agencies in North Carolina, we have determined that the child depicted in the photograph is not Sebastian. We understand the gravity of the situation and the concerns it has raised. Our collaborative efforts with law enforcement continue unabated as we remain committed to finding Sebastian. This is the first official statement issued by authorities on the photo, which has generated so much attention. Apparently, just a look-alike. So how did they reach this conclusion? Authorities using security video from the visitor center were able to track the boy in the photo and his family. They made contact and determined it was not Sebastian. I certainly understand why the citizens snapped the photo, and authorities took it seriously. They investigated all potential leads. Now, this coming from the sheriff's office, in which there is so much corruption in its history, where there is a connection, a military connection between the lead sheriff and the stepdad. Coincidence? Maybe. How did they verify that this was not Sebastian? I'm curious. Did they take DNA samples? Did they take a blood sample? Like, did they just go, hey, is that your kid? What's his name? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just curious, because if someone does have Sebastian, are they going to say, hey, yep, it's him? I'm just curious as to how they made 100% sure that it wasn't him. That's all. All right, moving on. Now, I want to mention this because, again, it's just another sketchy comment from Mr. Chris himself. So let's see what it says. Yes, I am confirming that the dogs had a scent that led to the construction site. No signs or evidence reveals Sebastian was there. Please keep in mind that dog tracking isn't as credible as you think. The idea that someone hurt Sebastian and threw him into a wet, fresh paved driveway is funny. To bury a body in and now he goes on to tell you how to bury a body in concrete. To bury a body in concrete, it would need to be at least 12 inches thick. Secondly, you have to smooth out the concrete and finish it before it's dried. All of that is done while the concrete is poured and being set. I mean, can someone please explain to me how this guy has not been locked up for everything that's gone on, for all the crap that he has said? It's freaking mind-blowing to me. Which brings me to my last and final thing for this video. Now, there was a petition started on change.org to investigate Sumner County, Tennessee sheriff failure to enforce child abuse laws. It is currently at 658 signatures. Let's look at this. A 16-year-old autistic child from Hendersonville, Tennessee, has been missing for nearly 10 months after self-reporting his physical abuse by his step-parent to his school teachers. It was revealed that the Sumner County Sheriff's Department has had knowledge of 5 cases of child abuse or endangerment occurring in less than 17 months from Tennessee Child Protective Services, DCS, since Sebastian went missing. Acts of abuse, endangerment, and neglect of autistic, disabled, or multiply disabled children would each be felonies under Tennessee law. We, the undersigned, believe there is no reasonable explanation as to why Sheriff Eric Craddock has failed to enforce the laws of Tennessee of child abuse in the near 10 months this vulnerable disabled child has been missing. The inaction and delay to enforce Tennessee laws that are intended to protect vulnerable children has sent a freezing chill up the spines of autism parents residing in Sumner County, who are now worried that what would happen if their own disabled child were to be abused by a step-parent. Would Sheriff Craddock show indifference to the suffering of additional autistic disabled victims of child abuse, neglect, and endangerment? We are requesting that the District Attorney General Whitley of District 18 and or the Attorney General of Tennessee, Jonathan Scarametti, investigate possible nonfeasance by Sheriff Eric Craddock of Sumner County. Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. So it does make you wonder if it's all about this brothers in arms, brothers protecting brothers kind of thing. And if that's the case, then Sumner County cannot be trusted to investigate the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. And with TBI not having qualified agents, they also should not be investigating the case. So really, it seems like this case needs all new different agencies looking into it, because what's really going on here? Why are Chris and Katie still out free? She was the last one at her own accord. She was the last one with Sebastian. Chris has come out and said all the sketchy things that he has. They've all been caught lying multiple times. The details in their stories have changed multiple times. They've been caught lying. Why? All the CPS reports, all of the past abuse. Why is nothing being done? It's frustrating. It's infuriating. And especially as a parent, you sit back and you wonder, what the hell's going on? All right. So that's it for this video. Let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. That's a free way for you to help support the channel. Please share this video. Another great way to support the channel. Leave your comments down in the comment section below. And it takes a lot of time and a lot of time and energy to put all the work into these videos. So please consider donating. If you want to donate, the links are scrolling across the bottom of your screen. The links are all also down in the description below. We appreciate your continued support. I love you guys. Stay strong, stay healthy, stay safe. Keep asking those hard questions. Keep spreading that light. And I'll see you all next time.